If you're looking for the origins of the cultural movement of modern Dubai, where would you start? In one of the industrial areas? Where surprisingly, this is exactly where you would find it. In today's episode, we're going to focus on Courtyard as the center and the origin of that movement. Welcome to today's episode of Hidden Gems UAE, and looking forward to our story. In our last episode, we spoke about the importance of the creek, the role of these boats, and all kind of a transportation and trade ideas on the creek. And at the end of that episode, we told you about a secret that is between the Dubai side and the Deira side. The answer to that secret is what brought us here to Courtyard. At the end of this video, you would know the connection and the importance of this place for the newly developing cultural area and sector in Dubai. The modernization of the creek site, as mentioned in the last episode, started around late 70s. In the 80s, a group of architects working in Dubai municipality created a master plan that was implemented during the late 80s. To implement, they had to start demolishing the existing structures, and they started on the Deira site. Seeing these developments made one particular architect heartbroken who was part of the team. Now, rumor has it that at that time, a young Prince Charles visited UAE, and in his conversation with the rulers of UAE, they decided why not keep one side of the creek as an old town. And they needed a young architect to take over the responsibility for that. Now, guess who took over? It was the same gentleman who was heartbroken before, the same gentleman who was behind the creation of Courtyard. It is Mr. Dariush Zandi. The modernization of the old town on the Dubai site, which is known as the area Bastakia, was just one of many projects in the cultural sector that Mr. Zandi started and accomplished with absolute perfection. As such, he was rewarded with a piece of land that he was able to choose himself. He chose a piece of land away from everything in the middle of an industrial area which is just being set up in Al Quoz industrial area. And in that little piece of land, he created something unique based on his ideas and based on what he thought he wants to work and create his ideas on. And this is the Courtyard in Al Quoz. There are a lot of unique elements of Courtyard. One is obviously the architecture, which is inspired by the old Persian gardens with water features and a lot of greenery. The second element is that all parts, almost 70%, that were used to build this place are recycled materials. You will see behind me windows that were taken from the ruins that I mentioned before and brought here to build this place. Another component is that it became the home to the first cultural movement, with the gallery of Mr. Zandi himself being also in the same spot. So as such, it is indeed one of the origins of the cultural movement and the sustainability movement of the country. Today, Courtyard has developed into a center for innovation and culture. There are a lot of cafes where people come together to work on new ideas. There are studios and many other hidden places that you can enjoy. However, what makes this place again unique is the theater behind me, which is the first one in a modern Dubai, where until today, we as parents bring our kids to learn all about acting and do a lot of performing. Courtyard has definitely put the seed of the cultural movement in a modern Dubai. In this area, we've been coming to Courtyard to see the first films, first theaters, and the first gallery exhibitions. But Courtyard as Courtyard is just one small part of the story because it has a huge spillover effect on the neighboring industrial area. All the artists coming to Dubai wanted to be at the initial stage part of the Courtyard, but the space is limited. During the financial crisis, Mr. Zandi had the idea, why not connect the growing creative sector with the stagnating construction industry? Meaning he brought few artists to the family who owned the building material company on the other side and had a lot of space in order to let them create their spaces in that industrial area. And that was the birth of the Al Sakal Avenue, because those spaces belong to the Al Sakal family. Al Sakal Avenue today is one of the largest areas for cultural happenings, music festivals, food festivals, creative people from all around the world. In fact, it has become so significant that the rulership of Dubai decided to change the nature of the entire area from industrial into the cultural spot in Dubai. What an amazing story. I hope you have seen how special this place is, and not only because of the secret which connects the Courtyard with the development of the old Dubai. This place is without doubt the origin of the cultural movement of modern Dubai, and all the components in it is definitely worth a visit. But much more interesting is that Courtyard shows very, very explicitly how a passion of someone who has come and chose Dubai as its new home has led to a development of a whole section and industry, which is being the creative industry. And it shows also, if you have a passion, you implement it here, you get the support of the local community, and similar to the chocolate lady, also the attention of the rulership to create something much bigger than you've ever imagined. Thank you very much for being with us. I hope you enjoyed this episode and will subscribe for much more hidden gems in UAE to come in the future.